The reconnaissance equipment hummed, while Lieutenant Sarah Chen calibrated long-range sensors, hyper-aware of her Zhel'kari counterpart working 3 meters away. 6 months post-treaty and mixed units still felt awkward, humans and Zhel'kari cooperating professionally, but with the careful distance of former enemies learning to coexist. Vel'shara, communications specialist, bent over her own equipment with focused intensity. The bioarmor covering her shoulders and arms displayed intricate bioluminescent patterns, swirling designs that pulsed gently, shifting from deep blue to lighter azure as she worked. Fascinating from a xenobiology perspective. Sarah had read that the patterns communicated emotional states to other Zhel'kari, evolved from their arboreal origins where silent communication meant survival. She found herself staring at the way light rippled across Vel'shara's shoulder, tracing patterns that seemed almost hypnotic in their complexity. Pure scientific curiosity, cataloging an evolutionary marvel she'd only seen in training hollows. Vel'shara turned, catching Sarah mid-stare. One elegant eyebrow arched, her pointed ears shifting slightly in what might be amusement. The patterns on her arms flickered through several colors Sarah couldn't interpret. "You like what you see, don't you?" Vel'shara asked, tone somewhere between teasing and genuinely curious. Sarah's face combusted. The patterns are from a xenobiology perspective, the bioluminescence is." Every word made it worse. She gave up. "I'm sorry, I was staring, that was unprofessional." Vel'shara's patterns shifted to warm gold, rippling across her visible skin. "Most humans don't look. They see our bioarmor as alien, strange, sometimes frightening." She paused. "You looked with curiosity, not judgment. There's a difference." Sarah wasn't sure if that made the situation better or more embarrassing. "The patterns tell emotions to other Zhel'kari," Vel'shara explained later, after Sarah's embarrassment faded to manageable levels. "But humans can't read them naturally. So around your species, we're invisible in ways that matter." She traced the design on her forearm, currently displaying steady blue. "Imagine if no one could see your facial expressions. You'd feel isolated." "I hadn't thought of it that way." Sarah considered. "We rely heavily on facial cues, probably miss a lot of what you're communicating. And I miss your subtleties. Your smiles mean different things in different contexts, yes. We find that confusing." They ended up talking for an hour about cross-species communication failures. The exhausting constant translation both did unconsciously. How much information got lost between different biological systems. Vel'shara's patterns shifted through various colors as she explained their meanings. Red for alarm, violet for curiosity, gold for contentment, dark blue for calm focus. "What's this one?" Sarah asked, pointing to a flickering green-silver pattern. Amusement mixed with uncertainty. "Basically, I'm entertained but not sure if I should be." Vel'shara's patterns demonstrated, rippling across her shoulders. "Like now, discussing how terrible we all are at understanding each other." Sarah laughed. "That's remarkably appropriate. Your species uses that sound for many emotions, yes. Humor, nervousness, embarrassment. Guilty on all counts." Sarah's grin was genuine now. "We're a mess of context-dependent signals." "As are we, perhaps that's universal." Vel'shara's patterns glowed warm gold again, contentment, Sarah remembered. She was getting better at this. Over the following weeks, they developed an odd friendship built on mutual translation. Vel'shara taught Sarah to read basic patterns. Sarah explained human micro-expressions, why eye contact mattered, how tone changed meaning. They cataloged misunderstandings like comedy material. The time a Zhel'kari's alarm-read patterns sent humans scrambling for weapons during what was actually mild surprise. The time a human's nervous smile got interpreted as aggressive display. During negotiations with a frontier settlement, Sarah caught Vel'shara's patterns flashing warning red seconds before the situation deteriorated. "Back left corner," Sarah murmured to their squad leader, who adjusted positioning just before armed settlers appeared from that exact location. "Your staring habit saved us prep time," Vel'shara said later, patterns showing pleased gold mixed with curious violet. Not staring, observing, Sarah corrected. If you insist. The patterns flickered with amused green-silver. One evening, Vel'shara admitted quietly that among her own people, her patterns were considered too expressive, too easy to read. Zhel'kari value emotional control. I broadcast everything. It's considered weakness. So you're honest, Sarah said immediately. That's not weakness. That's having the courage to show what you feel. Vel'shara's patterns went still, then rippled through complex colors Sarah couldn't fully interpret. You're too curious for human military standards, yes. Too many questions. Constantly reprimanded for it, Sarah confirmed. Apparently I think too much. Then we're both too much for our own species. Vel'shara's patterns glowed warm gold. Perhaps that's why we understand each other. The mission's formal celebration attempted to honor both species' customs with enthusiasm exceeding coordination. Sarah gave a speech about successful cooperation, while Vel'shara's patterns glowed steady warm gold throughout. Visible approval that even pattern-illiterate humans could recognize as positive. Afterwards, Vel'shara found Sarah and presented a small container. Inside, preserved bioarmor material maintained its bioluminescent properties, patterned exactly like the design that had been on Vel'shara's shoulder the first day, the one Sarah had been caught staring at. So you can keep looking, Vel'shara said, patterns showing amused violet. Though I've learned I don't mind when you stare directly. Sarah accepted the gift, throat tight. Learning to read your patterns taught me something important. Beauty isn't just appearance. It's authenticity, having the courage to show what you feel. Vel'shara's patterns shimmered gold and violet, contentment meeting curiosity. Your species sees beauty in honesty. Mine values control. Perhaps we both needed to learn from each other. They stood